the Big Brian
Welcome
Show.
to the Big Brian Show.
To the Big Brian Show.
Nice. Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? What's happening, guys? I said this over a year ago. Our next war gonna be with Mexico. I said this a year ago. I said we should go. We should line. Honestly, I said this. I said this more than a year ago. I said this years ago. Maybe not on YouTube, but I had to tell people our next war gonna be with Mexico. We should just right there at Fort Bliss, line them tanks up and go across and just go into Mexico, invade Mexico, like Putin did Ukraine. Except we're doing it for the right reason. Go fight them drug cartels and the corruption in Mexico. The Mexican drug cartels are taking pot shots at the U.S. Border Patrol agents. Patrol in Texas, El Paso. That's right where Fort Bliss is. Now listen to this guy right here.
Let's check in with Lawrence Jones. He is live down on our southern border in El Paso. He visited Fort Bliss with our Defense Secretary and our friend Pete Hegseth for that first border visit since his confirmation. And then they also flew on a Black Hawk with Tom Homan as well. Hey, Lawrence.
Yeah, he's with Tom Homan. That's the border czar.
Hey, good morning, fam. I just want to piggyback on y'all last conversation because this is why the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, was here. A lot of people don't know, but we have a military assets that focus on the narcotics that impact our country. It was created back in the 60s by JFK, and that's U.S. Southern Command right here in Fort Bliss. That's why the Secretary of Defense was here. He said that we haven't been using these assets the way we should. It's clear that there's a threat coming across the border as it relates to the drugs, and they're going to get active real fast. Here's a little bit of our conversation yesterday.
We have no better negotiator at the helm.
That's Tom Homan to the left right there, the border czar. This guy said JFK created the military access to fight the drug problem in 1960. Well, it's time to use the military to fight the drug cartels now.
Our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, knowing how to use economic pressure to get results on the ground. Let's see how Mexico responds with troops and whether or not they actually do stem the flow. But all I know is what we can affect. And we are not going to back down. Intimidation is not going to work. And the message I have for the troops here is across the board is we have their backs. We have your back. We're going to give you the tools necessary to get 100% operational control of that border.
A lot of people talk about the corruption in Mexico. Can we trust those guys? Will they actually be helpful to the mission?
I had to stop a second. This guy said the tools necessary. The tools, we're talking about Fort Bliss, guys. That's like it's one of the biggest U.S. Army military bases in America. And that's where the tanks is. That's why I'm showing you this video. We're talking about tanks. That's where the tanks practice at. Let's check this out anyway.
First administration, President Trump, made Mexico put military on the border, and it was very effective. He made Mexico agree to the Mexico program, right? This is national security. When we secure the border, less people die from fentanyl, less women and children sex traffic, less people on terrorist watches cross that border. This is a national security issue. President Trump's going to shut it down.
So some people may be wondering what the setup is. Why have Tom Homan, the borders are on one side, and the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, on the other side? The Secretary made it very clear, Secretary Hegseth, he's going to focus on the outside of the border, going after the enemies there, making sure the border is secure from that aspect. Tom Homan is going to focus on Border Patrol, the interior aspect of it, as well as with ICE, hunting the bad guys, the criminal aliens.
I don't know if you guys can see you see the landscape right there. I know a lot about Fort Bliss, guys. Trust me. I know about Fort Bliss. That's where they train the tanks at, because the terrain looks like overseas, like when we was fighting ISIS and with some other people, the Taliban and all of that. Yeah, Fort Bliss is where they do the tank training.
With inside of the country. It's a two-pronged approach, and then you got Marco Rubio that is going to be communicating with all those foreign countries to make sure they take their people back and they prevent them from coming to the country in the first place unless they want to do it the legal way.
That's right.
So, I don't know if you people know about Mexico, but El Paso is on the border of Mexico, and right across the border from El Paso is Juarez. Juarez used to be one of the most violent places in Mexico. Okay, real bad. That's where the drug cartels was. The drug cartels pretty much was running Mexico. How violent is Juarez, Mexico?
According to Wikipedia, crime and safety, much of the violence in the city is due to warring drug cartels, primarily the Juarez, Jalisco, and Sinaloa cartels. As of September 2022, the war has taken the lives of 717 individuals, including 87 women. On the website tpr.org, they say, hundreds of women have been murdered or have disappeared in Juarez since 2013, and ongoing drug wars contribute to a high murder rate. Downtown Juarez once drew many Americans across the border to engage in a variety of vices. It also became a hub of addiction, trafficking, and abuse.
And I'm going back to 2008 when I tell you, on any given day, they would kill 8, 9, 10 people at one time. At one time, yeah. They had ran the mayor of Mexico out of Juarez. He came to El Paso, and they killed the mayor. The family came to El Paso, right? When the family went to go back to the funeral, they also killed the family. That's how bad Juarez was. I saw Tyler Perry in El Paso. And let me tell you, El Paso is real nice. That's one of the nicest places in America to live. It's really nice at El Paso. But I saw Tyler Perry. I saw Tyler Perry in El Paso, right? Even he referenced Juarez on stage, and everybody was laughing. He was in Medea, right? And he was like, "All right, now, don't make me have to send your ass over there to Juarez if the Mexicans get a hold of you." But then that's how bad Juarez was. Tyler Perry even references when I saw him when he did a show in El Paso one time. Here's an article right here. Several shootings in Juarez leave at least 8 dead. 8 people, among them 3-year-old boy, was shot to death in the past few hours in several attacks in this northern Mexican border city across the Rio Grande from El Paso, Texas, officials said Sunday. In one of the incidents on a ranch near Mexico's most violent city, a family was attacked Saturday night by a group of pistol-wielding men who crashed a family party, killing 2 men and a 3-year-old boy. But that's how it was in 2010. So the next time you see Donald Trump and Tom Homan taking illegal immigrants back to Mexico, remember that article right there. Because the next family could be yours. So yeah, and I used to always go, man, they just need to line them tanks up and start firing over the damn mountains. But yeah, anyway, check this video I made a year ago. Yo, there's a simple solution to all these immigrants coming to America from Mexico. I said this 13 years ago. America just need to go on just invade Mexico and take over Mexico. Piece of cake. You ain't got to build no wall or nothing. Just line those army tanks up from Fort Bliss and say, we can do this two ways. We can do this the easy way, or y'all want to be gangsters, we can do it the hard way. It's up to you. And just go right in Mexico and say, we had enough of your shit. Problem solved. All you immigrants, go back to Mexico, because now we here, and we're gonna police this. We're gonna police Mexico, knock out the drug cartels, get everybody in line. Problem solved. Like I say, right there from Fort Bliss, just send the soldiers into Mexico, take over Mexico, because you got all that land over there, and rebuild and take over Mexico and rebuild Mexico. You can put car plants in there, whatever. Like I said, guys, you can see right here, I made this video a year ago. All right, so I've been saying this for years. Our next war is going to be with Mexico, because them drug cartels have gotten way out of line.